Okay, welcome back into Strange Ways, episode number 20. I am Rob. That is Scott adjusting his hat there. And why don't you tell us what we're doing today, Scott? Oh,
okay.
Now what is that? Somebody, is that a Redskin hat?
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
Say, a guy from Washington was down here, and I run into him in the parking lot of Walmart. He seen the tag on my vehicle. He said, "Hey, man, come here." He said it was a brand new hat. He said, "Man, I'm from up there. I'm a skin fan. I got a few of these." He said, "You want?" I said, "Absolutely." He throwed me the hat, and there you go, man. It's got like a glitter silver. I love it. Okay, and they're getting on their ass up there now, man. The owners are conflicted. They want the name back, and everybody's signing petitions. Yeah, that guy's gonna have to change it back sooner or later. Thank God. But anyway, we'll get off the skins. We'll do that when football season gets here. We are doing a live 3. We're going to do some live stuff now. This is the cover. I'm sure most of you know what it looks like. And we're going to rank our songs on this. Now, when we're ranking live songs, guys, it's how they are on here to us. It ain't got nothing to do with the studio versions at all. It's how we like them on the live album that we're doing. So just remember that before you guys start commenting, well, you said you loved that song or you hated it. It's live. There's a whole different ball game. So I'm sorry, I'm getting my kinks worked out here. And I guess you'll be starting first on this one. Yeah.
And you said to include the Star Spangled Banner, right?
Yeah, absolutely, because it is the 16th track on here. And, even though, it's a instrumental or whatever, yeah, man, we're going to do it too, because it's probably just as long as freaking Fractured Mirror, right?
Probably longer, yeah.
I mean, so...
okay, well, with that said, shit. I never, give me 1 second to...
You go ahead and do what you got to do, man.
Oh, I just forgot to put numbers on my list. Okay. So, yeah, number 16 then would be the Star Spangled Banner. Now, I love this version. It's absolutely killer, and every guitar player under the sun has done this at one point in time, whether it's at a baseball game or on an album or whatever. Most of them are really cool. This is my favorite because it adds the drums and the bass and everything to it. But at the end of the day, to me, an instrumental's just not a song. So I got to put this at 16.
All right. You guys heard it from the man. He's dissing on America's song. Last one. He's
fucking asshole.
Oh, yeah, man. Nah, we all get excuses for Kiss's music. It don't matter if it is a Star Spangled, so we all get a pass. All right, mine number 16. Because I was going to ask you, I heard about different copies of this thing circulating around, and I don't know if some had extra tracks or bonus tracks. So you got 16, I got 16, so that's what we're going with. All right. Number 16 for me. If anybody and everybody's been paying attention to just our regular podcast, and when we're going through songs and stuff like that, you guys know how I feel about this song live. Now, I love this song studio version, but live, I have never heard them play it good. This would probably be one of the times that they played it the best. Let me put it that way. I'll give them credit for that. It's Lick It Up. I have never been I don't understand it to the day I die. A simple song like that with a simple beat, a simple riff, and you'll get to that. I'm gonna let you explain that part where you hate the beginning, how they do it live and stuff like that. But I don't mind the lead. Them putting a lead in this song finally live. That doesn't really bother me. I actually like that pretty good. But I think I would actually like it better if they did play it exactly like the studio version. There you go.
All right. My number 15, a song I do not care for in the studio, on Mars, in hell, or anywhere else. And it actually comes out worse than the studio the way he delivers Domino. He changes entire cadence on some of the words he says when he's doing the talking. And the song just sucks overall. So it would have been last, but I have to put an instrumental last because there's no words. But there you go, Domino.
Tell us how you really feel. Hey man, I just done that too, man, on Lick It Up, but I like Lick It Up. See, that's the difference. I love that song. So on studio wise. But anyway, number 15 for me is, well, let's hit repeat. Let's hit repeat. A song that was done, because I really cranked this thing up. I went through it twice, and man, I was damning this song a little bit more than I should have live. On this, it's one of the better. Now, I don't know if they done some studio magic. I'm sure they did. They always do live, but Heaven's on Fire is my 15 because that's another song that I will swear. I don't like swearing. That I'll promise, I guess, that they just can't pull it off live, man. I mean, yeah, they can sing it and play it live, and emulate the way it sounds and vocals and stuff, but you cannot play it like it is on the studio version. And I don't understand that either because that song's not really that hard either. And there you go, man. That's my number 15, Heaven's on Fire. I love the song, though. So,
yeah, I hope that's what people realize here, because if you've been listening to Scott long enough, these are not new takes on Lick It Up and Heaven's on Fire. He does love the songs. He just does not like the way they do them live. Okay, so number 14 for me is Forever. No doubt a great song. Much like Scott, I liked it a lot when it first came out, but probably more for bragging rights that Kiss finally had a near number one single. But at the end of the day, this is what I would call a cheesy ballad, not a power ballad. So it's not one of my favorites. And live, it just doesn't capture that. I mean, Bruce is brilliant, but it just doesn't capture the same ambiance as the studio when it's live. It's just not a song that should be played live, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it don't help Paul, Here he goes with these stage raps,
Yeah,
Every time we play this one, the place lights up like a damn Christmas tree. Okay, there must not have been that many people flicking their lighters or something. He had to kind of, hey,
encourage him.
Let's go. Yeah, man. All right, but look, we hit one. I'm 14. Forever. Now, pretty much what Rob said. I like this song for the reason it let them tour on one of the best shows I ever seen in my freaking life. And I'm telling you, man, anybody, and I will harp on it. I don't give a shit if I sound like a broken record or not. I don't care. Go and watch a Hot in the Shade tour. Pull it up on YouTube anywhere you want to. I don't care, and watch it and tell me I'm wrong, bro, because I'm not. And
no,
Forever, it's just a song that I don't care for, studio version or live. I did a little bit back in the day. I was living one of the best times of my life at the time, man. No cares, no worries. And that's like Rob says, how you remember things sometimes, man. You know, especially new things that come out at that point in time. And thank God they did write the song and put it out, because I got to see one of the best shows I ever got to see.
Without a doubt, just an epic tour. That concert I saw twice, and it was just amazing both times. Okay, number 13, God Gave Rock and Roll to You 2. I've never understood the number 2. Is that paying homage to the fact that this is a remake, or was the actual original song have a Roma number 2 at the end of it? I don't know. I don't care. Good song, overplay for me, and again, a song. I think they hit it right in the end of times where they started just playing it on the loudspeaker as people walked out at the end. I don't think this translates well for a 5-minute live song. It doesn't have the flow for a live concert to me. It's a little too sluggish. And they can't quite replicate, the harmonies in the middle part when they're live, and obviously they're doing this damn near at the end of the show, so they're winded and spent, and I can't give this a good rating live. I just can't.
Well, that was number 13 for you.
Yeah,
we hit 2 in a row, bro. God Gave Rock and Roll to You 2 is my next one, because I don't really care for the song. I understand that they pretty much probably didn't have to, but did, because it was a soundtrack. The first thing that they released off of this album, probably before this album was even completed. I mean,
yeah,
it was a whole summer before this thing was released when this movie came out. So, and this song. So, now don't get me wrong, guys. I like it. I'm not crazy about the intro on this song. I do love it when they start jamming. And that's about the only part of the song that I do like. So, but it's not good enough to put it above the rest of them. I think they actually done a good job with it live, especially when you're there and it's blasting your face off. You don't know if you're going to have anything, teeth or anything, by the time you get out of that damn concert, because it was that loud. My gosh, dude. But anyway, God Gave Rock and Roll.
I got a question, because I noticed in listening to this in its entirety in order tonight, there are obviously a ton of cuts and splices. I completely forgot that I never got to see the Revenge Tour. Is it real that this thing did not end with Rock and Roll Night and they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs after?
Yes.
Wow. I don't know why they do that more often, because I've always thought that if you mix it up like this, it adds a little bit of, hey, I'm still interested. I mean, I've heard Brandvold say off 3 Sides, there are concerts, in the later days past the reunion or whatever, where he went and by, the second to last song, he said, let's go beat the traffic, because he knows how it ends. I mean, that's brilliant to me if they actually did this. But I only ask that because there's a lot of cuts and things, like in Rock and Roll All Night, for example. Paul says, last time, people, like he was giving them one last chance to sing. And for the first time ever, I heard Rock and Roll All Night live without the middle sing along with the crowd. But his vocal was still saying, okay, last time, people, but there was never a chance for the crowd to sing. So I'm guessing they cut that out for this album and just spliced it in.
Yeah, because they always let people sing that. And yes, you're right. It was not the last song, and we were kind of shocked, because we're like, damn, man, well, see, if you're somebody like me that was there, I knew the damn show wasn't over because they hadn't played Detroit Rock City yet.
Yeah.
See, I knew those little things, man, but it still blew my mind. Okay, we're going to change it up. That was a great show too, man. I mean,
it's just confusing because, like, I would assume then Rock and Roll All Night was the okay, we're done, and then they come out for encores. But on this album, it's the last drum hit from Rock and Roll All Night right into his Lick It Up band, or his intro to Lick It Up. There's no space. That's why I said either there was a lot of splicing going on and putting these tracks in different orders, or they did things really different, because then where was the encores?
I will definitely have to go back and look at that. You may be right. They may have not have went off with the encore on that. They may have said, it may have been Lick It Up they went off with the encore. I can't really remember. But I know they had one. Okay. They always do. But yeah, I like it when they do that kind of stuff, man. They didn't start off with Detroit Rock City, and they didn't end off with Rock and Roll All Night. And the loudest hot damn thing I ever heard in my damn life.
You keep saying that. I wish the hell I'd have been there, because I haven't had Kiss make me go deaf like that since the Creatures of the Night concert. They always kind of disappointed me throughout the 80s, because they were not quiet, but they were nowhere near as loud as like Stryper and some of these concerts I would leave. Warrant is a good one. I would leave and I would, to myself in my own head, I would sound like a chipmunk as I was talking, because my hearing was that fucked up. I love that, because then you're at a live fucking show. Shit, when I was at the Vegas residency for Kiss, we weren't front row, but we were, as the side wraps around, my arm was sitting up on. In fact, I didn't know it was one of Paul's risers, and that motherfucker come up and knocked my arm up. So we were right on the stage, but to the side. And when Tommy would come over, I could hear the picks on his strings. And I'll never fucking forget that. I said it immediately when we left there. I was like, Jesus Christ, can you turn it up? I get louder fucking sound out of my home stereo system than this concert. I mean, when you can hear the actual physical pick hitting the strings over what's being amplified, that's a fucking problem. I don't know if Paul was getting all, stupid in his old age about his ear and trying to help all these people with ear problems that he said, turn the damn music down. I don't know, to protect people's hearing, but that's not what rock is, man. So for you and you always talk about how fucking loud that Revenge concert was, and I never got to see it.
Well, that's a product of hauling shit in from a Coliseum to about a 3,000 seater and just melting everybody's fucking face, bro. I don't really know if they realized until it was too late if that's what the hell they done, bro. Dude, we were cringing, man, but we were still rocking. But goddamn, dude, it was almost like a damn hurricane up there, man. The force of the sound, and everybody leaving was hollering at each other. We thought, we could barely hear any. Everybody was, but everybody was just hollering, standing next to each other. You can see people just hollering, man, everywhere. And I'm like, damn. And I don't know if they done it on purpose, but anyway, I loved it because it was loud in a way. The sound was spectacular. So, yeah, man.
Where did we leave off? You just did your 13, right?
God gave rock and roll to you.
Okay.
13, and we're headed to 12.
My 12. Okay. My 12, another song I do not care for, especially on the studio album. I like it a little bit better live. I just don't ever want to hear it again, because I don't think it's necessary for 50 years to have it in every goddamn show that's ever existed, and that is Deuce. I'll tell you what saves it on this album, people, and get ready to get all butthurt, you Peter Criss fans. Eric Singer saves this song. By adding his double bass to it, he gives it a whole new sound, a whole new move and groove. to where someone like me who thinks it's same old, skip, actually it has some listenability to it just for what Eric's doing.
I don't disagree, man. He really, well, see, that's when he could be him.
Yeah.
See, that's
before
when he
they
was
neutered
playing
him and said,
his
"Be
voice.
Peter Chris."
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
yeah, that you're right. I do love the way he played. All right, number 12 for me. It's not bad. Um, it's a revenge song, and it's I just wanna. Now, I do like a little bit where he does the breakdown. Not the wake up, not that part.
Oh, I hate
But
that.
where
I
he's
hate
messing, I know, man. Where he's messing with the crowd and stuff, talking about a magic word. I mean, come the fuck on, Paul. There's nothing magic about this word. We know what the hell you're referring to. We're not a bunch of preschoolers in here, man. Spit it out, bro. And we had a good time with it anyway. And they did jam. Every song they played jam because you couldn't help it. It was a force to be reckoned with in Greenville. Now, when I seen them in Charlotte, it was the Coliseum. It was bigger, way bigger. So they didn't really have that force that hit us in Greenville. But it was still, still pretty loud. But anyway, I think Paul is struggling in this song to keep up. And he does sing it, good and everything, but he's struggling to keep up. I don't know if they play it faster than they do on the damn CD. If they do, why? Because that song's pretty fast anyway. But I don't know if that was the case. But he was really with them fast lyrics, man. But he sung it good. He didn't take breaks and miss words, but he still sung it good. But that's the song that just wound up there. I'm not crazy about the song anyway, but I like it better studio version.
Well, I'll tell you, in my re-listen, I could tell you probably why. Again, this entire show, I don't want to say it was played, fast, like, say, the Unmasked stuff with Eric Carr, but this fucking show was moving. If you listen to Alive 1 or Alive 2, and then you listen to the speed of this show, they're fucking kicking some ass on this show. So I don't doubt that anybody was struggling to keep up with their words. I mean, it was moving.
They did.
All right, number 11, right? Yes. Rock and Roll All Night. I so sick of this fucking song, but live it just works. This is probably the one song that I've heard by any band ever that will always be better live. And it's, yes, the studio doesn't have a solo and all that. I get that, but that's not why. It's just a song that was made to play live. I don't like, and I'm sure there was, like we discussed about the sing along with the crowd. I don't like if there was one that they took it out. It's definitely missing something signature about hearing Rock and Roll All Night live. But other than that, they did a really good job with it, and I got no complaints.
Okay, fair enough. Because that was your number 11?
Yes.
Well, we've hit 3. That's my number 11.
Holy shit.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, I didn't realize, I didn't think, because there's a mixture of stuff on here that I know you like better than me and I like better than you. So, but we're going live, guys. We're not using our studio versions, okay? But yeah, man, it was played pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Rock and Roll All Night, I have heard it played not the best at certain times in my opinion, but they did do a good job with it on here. But I'm a guy that is the studio for this song too. Even if it don't have a lead in it, even if they say Rock and Roll All Night 1,000 times, I like the way the intro is, and I like the way Gene sings the damn thing on Dress to Kill, man. And that's here we go with another song that they cannot emulate live like it is on the studio album. Yeah, I don't even think they could then. I've never heard a concert where they did. So, but I do like it, of course, but it's overplayed like Rob says. Jesus Christ, you know you're going to hear it. And a question before we move any further. Shout It Out Loud is not on this thing.
No, I noticed that.
If they didn't play it for some crazy holy, Mary Cross and all that stuff reason, or they just kept it out. They didn't put it on the live album. See, there's songs on this album, I think, in the show that they did not put on here for some reason. Now, that's what I've been told. And I can't remember personally if they played that or not. But
did they record this at multiple shows like they usually do?
Yeah, because the damn crowd interchanging in the middle, dude, you got to do something better than that.
Okay,
Jesus
so
Christ.
Also, because I noticed there was a period, I got some bootleg CDs, and some of my favorite versions of Tears Are Falling are on there because he starts the song a cappella, singing, oh no, tears are falling, and then Eric just joins in with the drums and the crowd sings along. And I've heard that circa Revenge Alive 3 on a live bootleg. So I'm assuming there's songs that they did play that for whatever reason they kept off this album, maybe to support Revenge a little bit more, adding, Unholy and I Just Wanna, Getting There Forever, Hit It Out. For whatever reason, I know that I've heard other songs from this time period, whether it's on YouTube or bootlegs, that are not on this album.
Oh, yeah. And there's something else that's not on mine either that I know for a fact they played. And you'll have to tell me if it's on yours. Take It Off is not on mine, bro.
No, it is not. And it is on their video for it's confidential or whatever, with all the strippers. That was a Revenge show.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There you go. Yep.
All right. So on to number 10. 10 for me is a song I absolutely love and will never love more than I love it on the studio album, but they always do it with respect, and that is I Love It Loud. I love, the sing-along with the crowd. I love the extended intro. I love this song live. It will never have the same magic as the studio because of that big drum sound, but there you go, number 10.
Okay. Well, my number 10, you've already touched on. You hate it, and I'm not crazy about it. I actually like the live version better than the studio version, and it's Domino. They jammed the hell out of it. I mean, Greenville, you couldn't help but jam to any damn. They could have played hot damn Wicked Lester shit and left it like Wicked Lester shit, and your face would have been, hanging off one side. So, but yeah, I like this version right here way better than the damn studio version, and that's a rare thing coming from me. They hit it on the head. Even Gene's that bitch over there bends over, I forget my name. He didn't really change anything. And I like that. I don't want them to change anything. And the way it went off, I love.
Okay.
Anyway,
Domino.
Number 10. Domino.
All right, my number 9, another song I love anyway. They do it, especially on MTV Unplugged, just because Paul gets to show off. And he does a little bit of that showing off in here. I Still Love You. This is a great song, absolutely remarkable on the studio version. But he always does this song well. Thank God he stopped trying to sing it in the later days because there's no way he could even get close. but he killed it here on this album. It was just awesome.
I agree. And I got to get there. So my next, we just barely missed. I Love It Loud. And, you know, you're right. They usually do play this good live. I mean, you know, but they've never been able to capture the studio version sound. That's just not happening live for some reason. But there's things that Gene, now he'll add stuff in this song, you know, little lyrics and stuff in between. And it goes like this, you know, you know, just play the song. Don't be adding shit. But I do like how they played it. You know, they rocked it out, bro. This is when the face of the Statue of Liberty blew off on this song.
Okay.
And the thumb and the birdie and and the lasers come through the eyes, man. Yeah, that was the song that's happened on.
Cool.
But yeah, that's my number 10 or 9.
9.
Okay. Yep.
Number 8 for me, another song they've always, in any decade, genre, era, whatever you want to call it, makeup, non-makeup, always done this song great. Detroit Rock City. I've heard better versions, and I've heard, you know, the studio album. I love them all. But this album, it really, really, it's shocking it's as far down. Refreshing that they didn't open the show with it. But shocking that it's so far down in the set. Kind of caught me off guard. I was listening to a lot of this in the shower, and I don't listen to CDs in their entirety, very rare, so I'm always just grabbing songs here and there and putting them on a mix. So I was waiting, and it finally came up, and I wasn't disappointed. It was really good. I mean, it obviously, it's not the studio. It'll never be the studio. It's another one like I Love It Loud. There's just something magical about that studio sound. But great song nonetheless, live.
Okay. My number 8 is probably pretty much everybody's favorite song from Revenge is Unholy. And hey, spectacular. They played it damn near perfect. Great. I mean, there's nothing much better I can say about it, man. They didn't stray. You know, I love how they began this song.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. I mean, that was really badass. That's a tough one, man. This one or the studio version for me, man. It's pretty much even, man, for me. If I had to pick, I wouldn't really know. But live, it kicked ass. So.
Okay. Number 7 for me. You've already hit on this one. I Just Wanna. I love the breakdown and the sing along with the crowd. I think that's cool. Like you, I can't stand that wake up baby whiny shit. I don't like that on the studio version. It's the only thing making this song not be one of Paul's greatest songs ever. But live, if you can get past that, the sing along is so cool. And like you said, it's a tough one to sing live, especially when you're as active as Paul is. There's not much room to breathe in this song. So I think he pulled it off as good as can be.
Yeah, he does. And I'm not knocking on him or anything, but damn, you know, it's a tough song. You know, I mean, he's going fast. He's singing fast as hell on the song, man. But I remember we had a discussion here a while back about this album or Revenge Tour, and you was wondering where this thing was in the set list. Evidently, they did play this thing very early. It's like number 3 on here. And it's a good damn thing, too, because if they would have waited too late play this thing, man, he may have really struggled with it. So,
Yeah.
but he didn't really struggle. It's just hard to capture the studio version and damn near emulate it with songs fast.
Yeah.
My number 7 is the opener, Creatures of the Night. As soon as I heard them drums hitting, man, I knew exactly what the hell they was getting ready to do. Explosions, curtain, just awesome to the freaking bone, man. They sing it absolutely great. They play it absolutely great, but it's hard to catch that Creatures of the Night studio version, man. Anything on Creatures is going to be hard to capture.
Impossible.
Yeah.
All right. That was 7 for you, right?
7. Yep.
Okay. Number 6, you just touched on a couple ago in Unholy. Like you said, that wicked intro on top of what's already a wicked intro on the studio album. So you kind of double up there. I was waiting when I first heard this to see if they could pull off that wicked harmony on the choruses live, and they nailed it. Bruce nails every note of that ridiculous shredding solo.
Yes.
Just perfectly done live. Extremely impressed. And I am one of those people that you mentioned that it is my favorite track on Revenge. So they did not disappoint me.
No. And to jump back to I Just Wanna, the part we hate in the middle, the breakdown or whatever, they nailed that live.
Yeah.
They did. They stayed pretty much harmonizing. They sounded good doing it, but you know what I'm saying. Next for me,
6.
Detroit, number 6, Detroit Rock City. Yes. Man, they rocked the fuck out of it. And there's not many times I've not seen them rock the hell out of Detroit Rock City, man. And I don't know what would be my worst concert they played it in, but if I dug around, I could probably figure out that this wasn't one of them. Everything, like I said, man, they played in Greenville, even in Charlotte. They hit. They didn't stray at all. It was great. They played the leads great. The drumming was spectacular. Paul sung it flawlessly. It was a great jamming song, and we knew it was coming sooner or later. There you go, man.
All right. Number 5, one you listed quite a ways ago. In fact, maybe last. Lick It Up.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to rank that low ever, just because I love the fucking studio song that much.
I do too.
And I will not disappoint what you were waiting for. Again, stop fucking starting this song with the goddamn verse. It's got one of the coolest goddamn intros, just a simple fucking slide into a juke, 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 building up.
Yeah.
Paul, yeah. Instead, you start out, don't want to wait till you. I fucking hate that. And they've done that since the goddamn song was recorded. It fucking pisses me off every time I hear it done that way. But other than that, they kicked the shit out of this. The solo was great. If you're going to create a solo, I'm glad it was Bruce and not Ace putting some crunchy lead solo with bends that's been done to death by Ace. I mean, Bruce did this masterfully. It's more of a rhythm jam with some lead mixed in. It works. Get that fucking Who thing. I'm glad Kiss is done, because whoever told Paul that that's a good fucking idea to put a fucking 7-minute fucking Who jam in the middle of Lick It Up is a goddamn idiot. You can put them lasers in anywhere in the fucking show. You don't need a Who session in the middle of my fucking song. So thankfully this was before they started that bullshit. There you go.
It is. And I'm glad. And, you know, something that annoyed me about the beginning of this song too, I don't think it started here. I think it started after this too. you know, where he goes out there and goes, pick it up, pick
Oh,
it up.
yeah.
Trying to get people to sing, and then he'll go, don't wait till you know me.
Motherfucker, if you want to sing along, do it in the middle of the song.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, dude, let's
As
just
great
take
as
it
a
to another
as great as a
crazy.
front man as he was, man, he still did some corny, cheesy, stupid shit. And if you don't believe me,
Yeah, he did. I love
listen
him
to
to
his
death.
sonic boom, boom,
Oh,
boom.
I was waiting for him to go, monster, monster. Oh, no. Oh, don't. Please don't. Don't. No, right. It comes
Okay.
off live.
Yeah,
Oh, my
right.
God. Holy shit. Number 5 for me, you've already touched on, and I can say I love this song, but I'm not over the top, you know, Deuce fan like a lot of them are, but live, bro, yeah, I like this better live and than the studio. They rock the hell out of it, man. And Gene usually does rock the hell out of Deuce live, man. But damn, boy, he rocked the shit out of it, dude. Yeah, I love it live better. Deuce is
Yeah.
my number 5. It rocked the fuck out.
All right. My number 4 is another one you shit on, and that is Heaven's on Fire.
My bottom 2, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do agree with you that they've never ever been able to capture this live, not even close. And the biggest reason is whatever he was doing in the studio with his voice to do that intro for this song for the album, he's never himself been able to replicate live. He's had some ones where he holds the note out 4 times longer. He's had some where he completely misses the fucking, mark on the pitch. He's had some cool ones. He's had some, oh my God, stop it ones. But the song usually always leads to a cool little breakdown, sing along with the crowd. And the song itself, I think, does fine. It's just the intro just is never quite there. And for Paul, that's disappointing because you always look at his, moments live where he can show off those pipes. But for some reason, he's never been able to hit that intro.
Yeah, that's always bothered me about a lot of their stuff, man. Some things, man, it seems like they can hit fucking perfect. Some things it's like you can't even touch, man, hardly, man. So yeah, there you go, man. And they do change that song up a lot live.
Yeah.
You know, they'll throw that extra guitar in there too, man. Just play the damn thing like it's supposed to be played. Like, yeah, man. I just want to hold a sign up. You know how people hold signs up and play it like it's supposed to be played. Right here. Don't change shit. But anyway, we're going to number 4. And it is, oh my gosh. I got to hear him play this a few times live. And never, ever have they disappointed, period. Is I Still Love You. That is one they can hit on the damn nail live. Not like Creatures, of course, but they do it just fucking wickedly awesome. Bruce, his solos, because up until that point, man, he's the only one I've seen with them, dude. Him and Eric Carr, man. And every time they played that song, man, they fucking nailed it, dude, and rocked it the fuck out. Paul sung his ass off. Just perfect. Perfect song. They can play it live, and it sounds fucking awesome. No, it ain't gonna be like Creatures, but it's not strayed. They don't stray. Paul might try to do a little bit more with his vocals and stuff, and he does, and it's great when he could. I love that shit. But it's just good live, man. That's all I can say. They rocked the hell out of it, man. Loved it.
Absolutely. Okay, my number 3 is proof positive why the greatest lineup Kiss ever had was Paul Gene, Eric Singer, and Bruce Kulick. So pay attention, Lewis. You have never heard the song this good live. Never, Lewis, as you have on this, and that is Watching You. I am telling you what, yes, I like it on a live one. Yes, a live ones is better than the studio version. This gives the live one version a wedgie, pushes it down, and steals its lunch money. This is the most epic version I have ever heard of Watching You. This is perfection, and Bruce's guitar work and Eric's drums are so prevalent in this thing. They just make you forget all about Gene, who's singing his ass off on this. But the music in this is so fucking amazing on this version. It takes a song that I'm just okay with and makes it one of my favorite Kiss songs ever. That's the difference between elite musicians and good musicians, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right. That was your number 3?
3.
Well, we hit 4 in a row on this one. Not in a row, but we hit 4. Watching You is my next one. And absolutely, you did say a lot of that I agree with. They hit it fucking great. They sounded great. The drumming was great. But in my opinion, Eric Carr is the best drummer they've ever had by far. Not even close. I mean, literally. Peter Criss is my favorite drummer now, but Eric Carr is, I think he buries Singer. That's just my opinion. Everybody's got them.
I always said if you could take Eric Carr's drum hands and combine them with Eric Singer's double bass ability, you'd have the greatest drummer who ever lived.
Holy shit. And he is my greatest drummer that ever lived, man. It is. Not Peter. Nobody, not Lars, none of them. Not Tommy Lee. Fuck no. Eric Carr, man, is unbelievable to me. I love the guy. And I love Eric Singer too, man. I love how he done. He's a great drummer. This show here was the loudest fucking show I ever seen. Dude, I mean, the drums were fucking like boxing gloves, bro. I mean, and I love this song played that way, but I don't think I ever played this song every time I ever seen them, from Animalized through Hot to Shade. I never heard this song played, so I'll never
if
get
they
to know
did, it was
why.
on a tour I didn't see because I've never seen Eric Carr do this song. It would have been interesting.
Me either.
But I understand what you're saying about Eric Carr. He was my favorite drummer too until Eric Singer came along, and it changed my mind only because, and I'm not saying which one's better. I love all 3 Kiss drummers, but
yeah, I do too.
But for different reasons. And that double bass that Eric Singer brings to give life to these stale, dated 70s Kiss songs is just incredible. And I'm not saying Eric Carr couldn't do it or Peter Criss couldn't do it. I'm saying Eric.
No, Peter never did have a double bass that I know of.
I'm just saying Eric did it and brought it and refreshed the whole catalog to me when it was played live, that I just fell in love with it. That and the high contrast of the black hair for everybody and the bleach blonde for him. It just, everything about that fucking surrounding Eric Carr just worked. Eric Singer just worked. And I was a huge Eric Carr fan. Still am. Yeah. I just prefer Eric Singer's style. I love double bass unless it's done like, these speed metal fucks where it's just all the way through.
Yeah, and everybody's got their style, man. I love the drums. I love everything, man. Fucking bass, I played it. It's pretty much the easiest one to handle is the bass. But my go-to is on Watching You. I love it on here. I've never heard them play this song bad ever. And see, if I ain't mistaken, it's my favorite song on my favorite album at the time. See, I love Hotter Than Hell's production. You know, some people do, most people don't. I love how it's played on there. I love how it's played on Live One. You know, the technology they had with this was insane. And especially being there listening to it, man, and it hitting you with that fucking force. Yeah, man, it was spectacular. And you hit, you know, we hit number 3. I thought it's 4 we've hit.
What I love,
so far.
4 of them. 4 of them. What I love here is that there's only 2 spots left, and you are going to have to take a big old fucking chunk of crow and swallow it whole right here on camera, because I know one of those 2 fucking songs you hate, and it's going to be your number 1 or 2.
I was wondering if you was paying attention, man. You know, and I have made the comments about this too. So,
all right, my number 2 you've already mentioned, and I think it's one of their greatest opening songs ever, "Creatures of the Night," and especially on this show with the drums just leading you into this song. It's just, and then followed by the big, you know, fucking flash bomb and explosion. It's just fucking epic. I just love this song anyway. And live, again, it's nothing on Creatures is ever going to sound as good as it does on Creatures. But this is a song that, like you say, doesn't stray. They stay as true as you can, and maybe they pick up the pace a little bit. That happens live just because of the energy and everything, but it's just a great song, especially on this live version.
Yep. Yeah. And guys, you know, whoever listens to this, a lot of these, especially up toward this part here, you know, a lot of these men were really tough to place because they played them so fucking good to me. So I just had to go with what I like the best. And, you know, except for my next one. And it is you just don't know how hard this is for me to say. But if I didn't, I'd be lying, man. And that's just not, you know, what I'm about. And I've mentioned this a few times that I love how they do it on here, but I do hate this damn song on the studio album. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And it's I Was Made for Loving You, man. Holy shit. I mean, I did not think that this song could be done that way. For fuck's sake. I mean, you know, when I first heard them started, I was like, oh shit. You know, oh shit. Am I gonna have to sit through this shit? I ain't got nothing to throw at them. I'm gonna get the hell kicked out of me if I do. But when they started out, it didn't even sound like I Was Made for Loving. Dun, dun, dun. It was heavy. I Was Made for Loving You. And the echoes he brought tonight, just, won me over, bro. He won me over with his song live. And it's the only time I will tell you that I've ever heard them play this live that I've liked. And as a matter of fact, this is the first time I ever heard them play it live. They never played it Analyze, Asylum, Crazy Nights, or Hot in the Shade. And I don't think they did.
Not that I ever heard.
I did not like it. I don't think they did, dude.
No.
When they played it here, at first I about didn't know what the hell they were playing until it went dun, dun, dun. Then I knew right then. Was that dun, 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 dun. I was like, what the?
That could be anything.
Yeah, man. And I was like, but when he got done with that damn thing, I can't get enough. Yeah. I mean, it was, dude, they should never have strayed away from that way of playing that song. Never.
All right. There you go. How did it taste? Did you put salt on that?
It's bittersweet, bro. It's bittersweet.
Okay,
But
my number
I love
one. My number one will just piggyback on his number two, and that is I Was Made for Loving You. And I will say, I have never heard any song by any band completely transformed into a different entity from studio to live. And like he said, there's all kinds of versions I've heard dating back to, Unmasked Dynasty era, to the modern where he thought he could still sing like Unmasked Dynasty. Uh, this was the only time, the only era that I've heard this incarnation of the song. And it is, if this fucking version was the studio version, that changes the trajectory of the band drastically.
You damn right.
His voice is so fucking powerful and raw and angry in this. Takes the feminine Bee Gees disco right the fuck out. Instead of going for the falsettos, he just screams out in a manly fucking voice in the middle. The explosions to the music throughout the middle and end of this song are fucking epic. Even coming through the speakers on a CD player, it's just an amazing experience. This song is the greatest live song I have heard on a CD by any band, just because of how it comes through. The explosions, the energy, the mix, whatever you want to call it, the production on this song in particular is just, it's massive. It's an experience just to hear this fucking song on a CD live, this version.
Yes, it is, bro. And I'm telling you, man, why the hell? I know people were commenting and saying that. I know the fans, even a lot of the fans, it had to get back to them, man. Damn, boy, y'all got I Was Made for Loving You, man. That is it. That's how you need to play that from now on out, dude.
Yeah.
Until you can't, of course. But they didn't do that. They did not do that, man. So, hey, that's just something very rare for me, guys. But I could not deny it. Live on Alive 3. I could not deny it. And his lineup fucking destroyed it, bro. Destroyed it, man. And just made it something that I wished it would have been and stayed that way.
Yeah.
Just like he said. All right. Number one for me, guys. Hope everybody's been paying attention. You had to be there for this. You really had to be there for this. And nothing else has ever made it up this high for me, even close. The fucking Star Spangled Banner. Holy shit.
God, I was looking through my list, like, what's left? I don't see anything that he hasn't talked about. I forgot about that.
The coolest ending to any concert I've ever seen in my life is this ending. When I say they jammed that son bitch, and not, it wasn't loud enough. All those damn explosions, man. God, hey boy. I mean, dude, I bet my hearing, I guarantee you that's damaged me to this day because I don't have, my ears ring all the time now after all the fucking concerts and races and shit I've been to. Man, dude, the firepower in that song. Never heard anybody in Hendrix is not shit compared to this. I'm telling you, dude, I love Hendrix, but I've never heard anybody emulate the Star Spangled Banner like this. Not even close. They pure rocked it out note for note. And Paul at the end, we love you. Never stop rocking. And I mean, that last in that explosion. Man, I'm telling you, dude, those last two non-makeup concerts, dude, were fucking phenomenal. The best two times I ever seen them live in no makeup, in my opinion. This was better than the Animalize. It was better than Asylum. It was better than Crazy Nights. And Hot in the Shade's the only one that I like better than this one. The power of this one even took Hot in the Shade. I mean, like I said, I don't know what the hell they were trying to prove that night, but they got it across very, very loud. And I mean, too damn loud, man. I know I was saying, hell, thought I was seeing shit falling and stuff, man. I thought, damn, this place is going to fall on us. And just general admission, dude, we was packed. Just great show, great album.
And everything that you just said to describe that experience of that song and that show, maybe you'll understand now why I was so conflicted with the announcement of the reunion. Because between Hot in the Shade and the videos I've seen for Alive 3, these motherfuckers hit a level that I have never fucking seen before live with back-to-back tours. And all of a sudden they were going to pull the fucking plug. And it made me sick to my stomach. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is, but I can't say that I wasn't wanting the reunion because I wanted to see Ace and Peter. I wanted to see the makeup. I did.
That's what I said.
I'm in, bro. I can't wait.
I was conflicted. That's why I said I was conflicted. I had never seen the original 4, so there was the coolness to that. But hindsight being 2020, going back and looking at those reunion shows and everything to come after, was it worth it? And like I said, this is a whole nother discussion, but
it is absolutely
what they gave up on was on a whole nother level than what they brought with the reunion. The reunion,
well, I'll be honest with you.
even bringing back the makeup and the original members, what they went from Revenge Tour to Reunion Tour was neutered compared to the Revenge Tour as far as the energy, the sound. And I was at the fucking Reunion Tour twice. And it was impressive. But it was nowhere fucking near as impressive as the last time I saw him, which was Hot in the Shade. Twice. So, yes, it was cool. I was choked up, teary-eyed, seeing the original 4 from my youth, the makeup, all that. But at the end of the day, if you push yourself away from the fucking table and look back in time, what was better? And I'll tell you right now, Hot in the Shade was better than any makeup show I ever fucking saw from the reunion going forward. And I think I saw 1, 2, 3, 5 for sure makeup shows all the way up to including the end of the road.
I've seen 5 too. Well, golly, man, I've seen every damn time they've toured. I've seen 5 though with Ace and Peter. They had 2 of them reunion, 3 of them farewell. And I always call the farewell the Psycho Circus tour because that was the album that came out before they done it. I mean, for fuck's sake. But anyway, I can see that. I do understand because I was there. I know, I loved both of them, but they were really doing it for survival.
Yeah.
Because it just, why it slipped. Hot in the Shade wasn't sold out. It was in Asheville, but it wasn't in Charlotte. And
no,
Revenge,
I get why they did it. I'm just saying, what was the better show? Non-makeup Kiss towards their prime, and when I say prime, I mean Hot in the Shade Revenge, where they finally found their look, they finally found their sound, they got the edge back, or Reunion to End of the Road. Sound and energy. I'm not talking the stage or the visuals. I'm talking what you're hearing and the energy you're feeling, not from the crowd, from the band. I don't care if Detroit Stadium had 50,000 people. That's not my point. What those shows, if you look at that fucking Detroit show, if you go watch it on YouTube and it's out there, the band is almost lifeless. compared to what they were. And I get the boots and all that, but if you go back to the 70s,
that's it.
you could see Gene and Paul jumping around in them high heels too. But it's beyond that. It's like their heart wasn't fucking in it. When Paul's on that fucking when Paul's on that fucking stage as Paul fucking Stanley and not the Star Child, my God Almighty, you'll get whiplash trying to follow him around that fucking stage. He clearly loved it more, and money took over, and it was cool, nostalgia, all that stuff. I get it, all you original 4 people. I'm just saying, if you're honest with yourself, and you saw Hot in the Shade of Revenge, and then you saw the fucking reunion, forget about nostalgia. What was the better fucking sound and performance? It ain't even close.
Well,
you went from 2 world-class musicians to 2 guys barely holding on playing clubs.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I will say the Revenge tour, whether they were drifting or not, and the Hot in the Shade tours that I seen, Kiss they were having fun on stage. It wasn't scripted, bro. Like it became in these last years, man. It was not staged. It wasn't. They done different things between Charlotte and Greenville in between songs and stuff. They were just fucking having a good time, bro. And you could tell it. And it was awesome to see that. And it was awesome to hear that. It's just too bad that, people weren't coming like they was, man.
No.
It's just, but look, I loved seeing them in that small venue. I seen them in 2 smaller venues, man. It held about 3,000 people, man. Asheville and Greenville. And one of them was Hot and Shade, and one of them was Revenge. And that is another reason those are 2 of my favorite fucking shows. There's not a bad seat in the joint. You can sit on the back in the highest row. You're right there on top of them, bro. There's nowhere you can go to get away from them. It's that good. I love those shows, the smaller ones, in the auditoriums. You really felt the power, and you never missed anything at all. The flames, holy shit, it was like lighting a fire in there, bro. You felt everything, man.
And I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad you brought the scripting up, because we got to stray away from the albums in a little while here to do some just regular discussions. Because I want to hit on that. What they became was more of a rock opera, something you'd see on Broadway. Everything's timing. Everything is, this has to be at 2:22 and this has to be at. It was so fucking stale and dated, and it ain't just the end of the road. That's been going on for fucking 20 years. You could go to 3 shows, follow the band, and go to 3 fucking shows in a row, and it's the same identical fucking thing every time. And I don't want to hear well, they got pyros, it's dangerous, you got to be at this spot and this time. No, fuck that. They made a living with pyros their whole life and never had that scripted bullshit. I don't like that. That's not rock and roll anymore. That's just a fucking production is all that is.
They was going through the fucking motions. I remember when that started, dude, and I'll get on to that when we start talking about that, because I've got to tell you something that I realized and when I realized it. Okay. And they were not having fun anymore. And it was all about, let's play the show, make the money, go to the next city. We'll get on to that, because there's something that happened that I just caught on to, and I'm surprised I didn't catch on to it before, but we will definitely dig into that, dude. And it really put a sour taste in my mouth. There you go.
Well, there you have it, a live 3, our best episode, because Scott had to eat crow and praise I Was Made for Loving You. Recently, 1 billion streams, I Was Made for Loving You.
Wow.
So there you have it. And we'll be back at it very soon, I'm sure. Anything to add?
Great show, great performance. Just not much bad, just a few songs, that we probably didn't like on here, that fell down toward the bottom. We had a difference of opinion in that. But no, I mean, Live 3 rocked out. I mean, literally rocked the fuck out. So, yeah.
All right. Until next time, thanks for watching.